If you want to have a chance of winning a skin, all you have to do is subscribe, like this video, comment down below your ID, your in-game name, and the skin which you want, which is under 300 diamonds. What's up people, and welcome to this video. So in this video guys, I got the skills and abilities for the new hero Gatot Kaca, I don't know how to pronounce it, I still don't know. Yes, I am super duper mega sorry for that, but let's just go with Gatot Kaca because I feel like that sounds right, okay? I've been saying Gaza, I'm not sure why, but Kaca, it might be right, okay? You can comment down below if I'm right or wrong. Either way, we're gonna be jumping into the skills in a second, but before we do that, I just want to say that I'm doing a small giveaway in this video and a few videos which will be coming in the future as well, because a lot of you guys have been asking for it. Like you said, like, oh well, I didn't win the last giveaway, can you please go and make a new one? So I'm like, okay, well fine, I will make a new one. I don't have a problem with that, and you guys will seem to like the giveaways which I'm doing. And if you want the last giveaway, keep in mind it will take 7 days before you can send it out, so it's about 5 days left before I can send you the skin. So yeah, and this giveaway which I am doing right now, the winners will be announced in about 1.5 weeks, so yeah, it's gonna wait for that. But we're gonna be jumping into the skills of the Gatot Kaca, skills, abilities, whatever you wanna call it. He sounds really cool, and I don't really have the description of him, I don't have the lore or anything like that, so I'm not completely sure what role he is, but like reading the skills, it really sounds like he is a tank, but I'm not completely sure about that. And another really cool thing about it is dealing magic damage, which is just mind-blowing. It's really mind-blowing. This here will definitely be something new in the game, something really cool, okay? But with no further ado, we're gonna jump into the passive right here. We're gonna be starting off with the passive. So I'm not completely sure if these are like the full descriptions of like the skills, because they're very short, and usually skills are a bit longer than this, but I can go ahead and tell you what it says and stuff like that. So passive converts lost HP to physical defense. So basically every HP that he loses, he will gonna gain a bit of physical defense, basically armor, I would guess. It doesn't say how much or anything like that, but like if you have a really low amount of HP, you will have a really high amount of physical defense, which sounds just really insane, okay? And every few seconds his next basic attack restores some HP, okay? So every few seconds, it could be like every 4 seconds, his next basic attack will go and restore HP. 5 seconds, 6 seconds, we don't know that, but just this passive actually sounds really strong, okay? Converts lost HP to his physical defense, okay? That is real strong. And adding on top of that, he has like a second passive. Every few seconds his next basic attack will restore some HP, which just sounds really great, okay? So it isn't stacking with his attacks or something like that. I'm not sure if you can build cooldown to make it shorter. I don't know that. Probably not. So it sounds really cool. Okay, so his first skill, okay, shatters the front ground, dealing magic damage and slowing enemies. Okay, so basically it sounds like he's like maybe like punching the ground in front of him, or just doing some kind of abilities with his like his lightning strikes or something like that. And then he shatters his ground, which is in front of him, dealing magic damage, which I thought was a bit mind-blowing, because I was like, well, this here is definitely gonna be like at least dealing physical damage, but it's dealing magic damage, which is really cool. And it kind of makes sense because he's like, I'm not sure if he's like a god or a superhero, I'm not completely sure what he is actually, but dealing magic damage, well, it kind of makes sense because he has lightnings from his hands and stuff like that. And it will also gonna slow the enemies. So it's just an overall really good first ability, I would say. And I'm still so surprised that it's dealing magic damage. I think that's actually really cool. So attack which is dealing magic damage, basically like Johnson, I would guess. So yeah. Either way, so here we have the second skill, okay? Second skill, Gatot Kaca. Roll with that. Shouts loudly, forcing nearby enemies to basic attack him. Okay, so basically he shouts very loudly, and then nearby enemies, I'm not sure if they're counting like minions as well. I would guess so, because it says nearby enemies, and minions, the enemy minions are enemies, and they will start attacking him. Okay, so so it's basically a taunt. What you should imagine right now, if you've ever played Vexani, you know that her second skill, or it might be her first skill, is actually taunting the first enemy, which is hits. So basically think like that, but like an area effect around him, which is really strong. Like that's a really good like just second skill right there. This is basically like Tiger's ultimate, because Tiger's ultimate is like pulling everyone into him. This is very close to that, but like he's just dragging them in, like they're going against him, they're not like flying towards him, okay? And then also on his second skill, he counters the attackers when he hits, dealing magic damage to nearby enemies. And also he counters the attackers when he is hit, dealing magic damage to nearby enemies. So basically, like, this is just insane. Basically, his second skill, I'm gonna go and explain it as simple as possible. He shouts, makes all the enemies which is around him, not sure if counting minions or not, either way, walking, like taunting them, so they are starting walking towards him. And basically he also counters their attacks, I would guess like basic attacks, okay, because I don't think they're gonna be dealing any abilities and stuff like that when they're taunting. He will be countering all their basic attacks, dealing magic damage back to them, okay? So I'm not sure how this is stacking. If this is stacking like, well, it's dealing damage to them like 50% of their own like physical damage which they're dealing, that's pretty strong. That's pretty strong, especially if that's like a marksman, or if that's like a fighter or something like that. They would be almost be killing like themselves, okay, especially if they have really high attack speed, okay. But it isn't saying anything like that. It isn't mentioning like any stats or something like that. It's just saying he counters the attacker when he is hit, dealing magic damage to nearby enemies, okay. So basically almost sounds like he's dealing to multiple enemies here as well. So then we have the ultimate right here, and that's actually a bit longer, so I'm gonna be reading that in pauses right here. So ultimate shortly charges and jumps to the target area. So basically it sounds like he can select an area which you want to jump to, like maybe for example yellow card, but this guy have to charge for a while. Maybe like a second, 1.5 seconds, doesn't say, we'll just have to wait and see, but still I'm so hyped, okay? So he can jump, his ultimate is a jumping ability, okay? Knocking nearby enemies into the air and dealing magic damage, okay? Jesus Christ, it sounds amazing, like, okay, well I'm not done yet, I'm gonna be talking about it later. The enemy near to the center is knocked into the air for a longer time. Okay, so the hero which is in the middle of his basically area effect jump is knocked up the highest, and they will be staying in the air for the longest. And also like all the, oh, that sounds so great. Just imagine you can stand in the bush, you can charge this ultimate, jump onto, like, you can basically hit all 5 enemies if you're extremely lucky, knocking them up to the air, and the one which is in the middle will be knocked up into the air longer. This will also be dealing magic damage. This sounds overall nice, like overall freaking amazing, okay? Especially now when I'm thinking about it, you can have an insane combo with like Tigrel in the team. For example, he uses his ultimate knocking, like pulling them into a small group. And then this guy uses his ultimate, knocking all of them up into the air. They will be staying in the air for like, I don't know, maybe 1 second. And when they lands again, he can use his second ability, taunting them into the circle yet again. Like, that's just insane. Dealing a ton of damage, especially if they're attacking him. He will just be countering their freaking attacks. Like, Jesus Christ. And then he can just go and use his like first skill and deal a bit more damage, and like even like he's taking a lot of damage, it doesn't matter, he has his freaking passive which will be giving him more physical defense. Just amazing, okay? So this guy will definitely be like super strong against like fighters and like assassins and like marksmen, because he can counter their physical attack with his second ability. And also, if he loses HP, his physical defense will go up, okay? So don't think this guy will not be like as strong against mages, but he will still be extremely strong against heroes which is dealing physical damage. So like, I am super freaking hyped for this new hero, and I know a lot of you guys are as well. Especially, I really like him. Just hearing these skills, because I just love playing Tigrel, and he actually sounds a bit like Tigrel, because Tigrel has a jump which he can jump forward, knocking people up into the air. This guy has a jump which he can jump forward, knock them into the air. He can also taunt, which is basically the same as Tigrel's ultimate, pulling them into the middle, and then he just has a damage dealing ability which Tigrel also has, and then his passive is just like, it's freaking godlike. It can heal him. I'm not sure how like the heal is stacking with his damage. Maybe the more physical damage he has, the more he will heal. I'm talking about the passive right now. Either way, guys, I'm just so sorry if you have no idea what I'm talking about, okay? But I'm just sorry. But there you have the skills. If you listened very closely, you heard them right there. But anyway, guys, remember, if you want to go and sign up for the giveaway, well, if you want to have a chance of winning a skin, all you have to do is subscribe, like this video, comment down below your ID, your in-game name, and the skin which you want, which is under 300 diamonds, and you will be able to win that skin from about 1.5 weeks from this day, okay? So I will be announcing that for 1.5. Either way, that was all for this video. Comment down below what you think about his skills and stuff like that. Are you hyped? Do you want to buy him? Stuff like that. I hope it was the next video, guys, but as always, thank you for watching.